What's going on, my exotic family? Welcome back to another video. Like I said, I was going to try to do better at getting these videos out, so here I am with another video for you guys. So since I've started my channel back in January, I've gained a lot more subscribers. So shouts out to you guys. Thank you for following me. Thank you for subscribing. But also, I've gained a lot of followers on Instagram. So I kind of just wanted to do like a reintroduction to the animals that I have. So for the people who haven't been following me from day one, can kind of see who is who and exactly what all I have. So I'm going to go through my entire collection, lizards, snakes, anything in between, and kind of just show off everything that I have here in my reptile room. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so welcome back. We're going to jump right into it. First animal I'm going to reintroduce you guys to is Bane, my motley boa. Bane, I'm trying to remember if he was in my original video. He may have been. I really don't remember, to be honest. But Bane is here, my motley boa. He is about 1.5 years old. Like I said, he's a motley boa. Intense pattern, very pretty snake, pretty docile, one of my best eaters. So he'll get right around 5.5, maybe 6 foot, but we'll see. I know males stay pretty small, so we'll see if he even gets that big. But yeah, he's my motley boa. He's currently in my rack system behind me. For those of you that aren't big on racks, let me just, and haven't followed me for a while, me personally, I use racks as a grow out system. I do think they're great for establishing an animal as far as security, temperature, and feeding. So in that sense, I do think they're great. I actually built the one behind me myself. But for those that know me and follow me on Instagram, I'm also big on upgrades. So whenever my animal is ready for an upgrade, they definitely will get an upgrade. I will not be upgrading them to a bigger rack. They will definitely be getting their own enclosure. So I just feel like I want to throw that out there for those of you that are new to following me or just don't know that quite yet. But like I said, this is Bane. A lot of my reptiles actually do have, you know, kind of like superhero, Marvel, or in his case, villain names. So we have Bane, a lot of Marvel in this reptile collection. But enough of the rambling. This is Bane, motley boa. He is het VPI, 66% het VPI. Like I said, he's about 2.5 years old. So that is snake number 1. Alrighty, so snake number 2 is probably my rarest snake. He's actually really popular on my Instagram channel. Most people know him as the escape artist. This is Cupid. Cupid is my scaleless Texas rat snake. I did a video on him earlier in the year because he had gotten out for the second time since I've had him. But since then, we made some permanent adjustments and he has not been loose since. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed it doesn't happen again. Because as stated in my last video, I do have a baby on the way, and it's one thing to have a loose snake in the house, but a loose snake and a baby, not a good combination. So not that I fear he would bother baby, but it's just not something you want to happen. So we definitely keep him pretty snug tight in his lock enclosure if he's not out with me handling, as you can see here. But Cupid's about 1 year old. He's one of my, I have 2 colubrids. I never really planned on getting one of these guys, but I saw him at my local expo and a guy was actually just trying to get rid of him. So I took him in. He's not the friendliest snake. He's still pretty flighty, but I mean, I just think they're really cool snakes. There's a lot of people that aren't big on scaleless snakes. If you do your research, you'll find out a little more a bit about these guys, but they are very cool snakes. He'll get, you know, typical rat snake size, so right around 4 foot. He eats pretty well. He's definitely grown with me here. I mean, the camera probably doesn't show the scalelessness as much as I'd like it to. But I mean, they feel extremely weird. But nonetheless, they're pretty cool snakes. Even with him being grumpy, he's just one of those snakes that you have in the collection and you just can't help it. People come over and they see him and they're like, whoa, is that a scaleless snake? And they feel the difference between a regular snake versus him. The cool thing about this, guys, is they're scaleless. However, they're not completely scaleless, as you can see on him. He actually has his dorsal line of scales and a few head scales, but they also have their belly scales or ventral scales. So that's pretty cool. So I wouldn't necessarily call them scaleless. Well, I guess you could because they have less scales. Whatever. But that is Cupid. Alright, so my last snake that I have in the rack is, everyone has one. Ball python. This is Mbaku. He's the first Marvel named snake we have here. He is my Mystique B ball python. He's about 1.5 years old. Definitely my best eater. He's grown extremely well with me. He's getting pretty big. He's actually, he is next on the upgrade list. So be on the lookout for that. I will be upgrading him very soon because he's getting pretty large for his toe. But like I said, he's about 1.5 years old. He eats very well for me. And I have no issues out of him whatsoever. Never missed a meal. Always gives me full sheds. He's a great snake. I can't complain too much about him. It's probably my easiest snake to care for. Ball pythons are pretty easy in general. So I do like him. He's probably like one of my favorites to take out if my nieces come over and they want to, see a snake or anything like that. He's definitely one of my favorites because he's so easy to handle. I don't have to worry about his temperament or anything like that. So that is Mbaku. Let's go ahead and move on to snake number 4. Alright guys, so I'm back. So I actually lied. I said we're going to move on to snake number 4. Most of you know I don't have just snakes. I have a couple of other creatures as well. So we will show off Frankie. This is Redfoot Tortoise I have here. He, she, he. I'm still kind of on the fence about what it may be. When I first got it, it's pretty small. Just calling it a male, and then we kind of seen some indications that it may be a female, but now I feel like I'm seeing some indications that it may be a male. But for now, her name's Frankie. She was, pretty tiny when we got her last summer. As you can see, she has grown very well. She loves to eat. Definitely probably the greediest animal we have in the room here. But nonetheless, very, very good pets. Cool thing I like about tortoises is you can kind of just like let them walk around the room and you don't necessarily kind of have to worry about them getting in too much, which that's kind of not true as well. With her still being pretty small, I'll let her walk around the room but with supervision and with the door closed because I do have a dog. It's about 80 pounds. So I kind of watch him, not that he'd eat her, but I'm a little iffy on animal to animal interaction, especially with him not being completely used to being around, reptiles or other loose animals. So I kind of just keep an eye on everything. But she is, like I said, we've had her about 1 year. So she's about 1.5 years. Great animal, loves her veggies. Very easy to care for. I don't really hear have any complaints about caring for one of these guys too much. I will say I probably should show her off a little bit more on Instagram. Sometimes I just kind of let her sleep and do her thing, and I don't really bother her to take pictures, but that's definitely something I should probably work on. But that is Frankie, her little red feet up here. So let's move on. Alrighty, so next animal we have here is another fan favorite. These guys are very popular in the pet trade. This is my bearded dragon. Her name is Hera. I actually got her from a friend who just couldn't care for her anymore, so I took her in. But I've had bearded dragons before. She is very, very chill. She just kind of hangs out. She loves eating her worms. Most people love, bearded dragons. They like to eat. So that's all she does all day. She kind of just bask. Put food in her enclosure. She goes right forward, and she goes right back to basking. Another animal that I probably could do a lot better at showing on my Instagram. They're great animals, great pets, and all around pretty much easy to care for. I say that with you have the general knowledge to take care of reptiles kind of way. I don't want to say they're easy to care for, meaning someone can go out there and buy one for their 4-year-old. That's not what I mean when I say easy to care for. I mean easy to care for as in you are an experienced reptile keeper, because these are not beginner animals in my opinion. They do require tons of care, tons of time, and that's for any reptile. To me, there is no such thing as an easy reptile, because they all require a certain level of care that you should be able to provide, and if you can't provide that care, obviously you shouldn't get in it. So that's another talk for another day. But yeah, this is my bearded dragon Hera. I can't really say how old she is, to be honest. Like I said, I got her from a friend. If I had to guess, I'd say she's about maybe 2 or 3 years old. She's pretty much full grown. But there she is, looking all gorgeous. And we'll move on. Alright, so this next animal, probably definitely one of my favorite animals in the room. Don't tell the other animals that. However, these guys are very beautiful. I'm not even gonna say anything else. This is my Brazilian rainbow boa. There she is. This is Medusa. Medusa actually was the third animal in this reptile room, second snake in the reptile room. She is a year and 5 months now. So she will be coming up on 2 years old very soon. When I got her, she was very, very small. As you can see, she's grown quite well. Super friendly, super docile. If you read online, it says like a lot of hatchlings, Brazilian rainbow boas are very nippy. I never had that issue with her. And she's a great eater. But very beautiful snakes. I just know the camera just isn't picking that up. But for those of you that know, very beautiful snakes. These guys are probably one of the most sought after snakes in the pet trade because of their color, their manageable size, their temperament, and they are just gorgeous. Definitely one of my favorite snakes. Although they're not in my favorite family of snakes, they're definitely one of my favorite snakes individually as a species. So you can't go wrong with a rainbow boa. They're not super expensive either. And they are also fun animals to be around. So if you ever want a snake that's really pretty, for one, doesn't get huge, and you obviously have the proper means to care for it, definitely look into a rainbow boa. They're very gorgeous. I don't have any issues out of mine. Just as any animal, always make sure you do your research. These guys do require somewhat of a higher humidity. They like it tropical, so I mean that's it for the rainbow boa. That's Medusa. So let's move on to the next one. Alrighty, now moving on to one of my more complex animals. These guys are very popular in the pet trade as well. Talking none other than, of course, green tree python. This is Venus. Got Venus as a yellow neonate. For those of you who's not familiar with green tree pythons, they come in a variety of colors as babies, and as they get older, they convert to either green and yellow. Now there's a bunch of different designer types, but they usually as babies, the two primary colors they'll come in is either going to be yellow or red. They all usually have speckling, either yellow speckling or red speckling. But Venus was a yellow neonate. I'll throw a picture in just so you guys can see the comparison. But as you can see, I mean, it was tiny. As you can see, he's grown quite big. These guys are purely 100% arboreal. So they spend majority of their life up in the trees and perches because they will eat birds. They do, however, come down at night and they use their tail. I don't know if you can see. As you noticed, he's blue, but their tail is blue. He's green, but their tail is blue. They use that for what's called coddle luring, and what they'll do is they'll come down at night or they'll hang in trees and they'll kind of wave it around, and a bird will come and investigate thinking it's a worm, and then as soon as they get close enough, boom, they got a meal. So that's pretty cool about them. They kind of, one of those cool adaptations that snakes have. They can kind of use what they have to, eat their food since they don't have legs or arms. So that's pretty cool. Definitely my pride and joy right here. I was so excited to get a green tree python. So if you guys are looking for a green tree python, look up on Facebook a place called TK Chondros. Very cool people, very great quality animals. I have no complaints about this snake right here. Venus is also about a year. Was it? So a year and 7 months now. So he'll be getting an upgrade fairly soon as well. He's getting pretty heavy. He just got this upgrade earlier this year, but he's definitely going to need some more height. Very good snake, great eater. I don't know what else I can say. Let's see if I can get a close up for you. Not as feisty as people make them to seem, make them to be. I feel like just like any other snake, you gotta pay attention to body language and kind of see what mood they're in before you handle them. I don't handle this guy super often anyway. Maybe once every other month, maybe once a month, but for the most part, I kind of just pull him out on the perch and see what his attitude is like before I even let him off of the perch. I do have to remove the perches for cleaning, so I did make the perches removable, as you can see here. But other than that, these guys are great snakes. Definitely, my favorite snake family is Morelia. And once I pull out one of my other snakes, you'll see why I have 2 snakes in the Morelia family. Morelia viridis. Cool snake. Can't go wrong with green tree pythons. So let's move on next. Alrighty, now on to one of my more sinister, creepy, crawly creatures that a lot of people are just, no matter what, not into. This is, I don't know if you can see, this is my tarantula, Mystique. She is a Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, or for those of you that don't know scientific names, a green bottle blue. They are very, very, very pretty tarantulas. When they get bigger, they get a nice, obviously, blue body. They get pretty decent size, around 5 or 6 inches. Temperament's usually pretty good. I don't handle her too well. They're known to be a little flighty, so I do, for the most part, leave her alone. But in my last video, she was not in, so I definitely wanted to bring her out and show you guys this time. So that is Mystique. Like I said, a lot of people are not fans of her at all, but can't say you're an animal lover, not like the creepy crawlies. It makes no sense. They're all animals, right? So I wanted to show you guys my tarantula. I don't show her often on Instagram, but I do often enough. But kind of want to give you guys an update so you can, for one, see her. And I think I did an upgrade video for her and the scorpion. I did have a flat rock scorpion. However, the flat rock did not make it. I lost him a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what happened, but that just kind of goes to show you, as reptile keepers, we're always learning on what we can do better. Not saying there was anything I did wrong. I don't know what it was, but like I said, there's always things we can all improve on as reptile keepers, and I say that to say nobody's better than anyone. We all can use a little criticism. And I wanted to share that with you guys, simply because I'm not one of the type of people that'll hide anything from you. Unfortunately, when you have many pets, it is something that can happen. I'm not going to say it's something that's going to happen, but it's definitely something that can happen. You may lose an animal to unknown causes, but the best thing to do is not go buy another one right away. See what you can do differently. See what you could have done differently. Maybe it wasn't anything you did at all. Maybe it was, the breeder you bought it from. You never know. I just think there's too much where some people lose an animal and then they get another one right back, and it's just like, are you really caring for your animals? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. But this is my tarantula. This is Mystique. I'm gonna go ahead and put her back. We got just 1, 2, 3, 4 more animals to get through. So let's get right to it. Alrighty, so this is Hera, probably the oldest reptile that I actually have in the reptile room. Obviously, as you can see, she's my leopard gecko. I also got her from a friend, but she's been with me for a little while. I definitely don't show her off as much as I should. I did have 3 lizards. I did have a veiled chameleon. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, she too come home from work and she is belly up in her enclosure. She was doing fine. That one I truly don't know. She had just ate. She was doing fine, hanging out in her trees. Never had any issues with her. Come home from work one day and she's just gone. So like I said, I wanted to reintroduce all of my animals, but also give you guys an update on animals that I no longer have. So this is Hera. I don't know exactly how old she is, but she's up there. But she's a great pet. Just kind of let her do her own thing, which is why you guys don't see a lot of her. But I mean, can't go wrong with the leopard gecko. These guys are pretty popular as pets as well. Not much of a hold me type of animal, but they're very cool animals. So not too much to say about her, but figured, like I said, I'd show you guys all of my animals. So that is Sahara. And these last 3 animals will all be snakes. So we will jump right into it. Alrighty, so next we have Mr. T'Challa. You guys met him only recently. He is my Mexican black king snake. Birthday gift to myself, of course. So he is one of my recent additions. The most recent addition, actually. Just got him back in September. Very cool animal. I can't wait to see this guy get bigger. So far, so good. I've gotten, I want to say, 3 or 4 meals out of him now. So he's doing great. 3 meals in a shed, actually, a full shed. So he's doing very great. I wanted one of these guys for so long, so I had to have one. So I'm not gonna spend too much time with him out because I just did a video on him. So that is T'Challa, my Mexican black king snake. Alright, so the last snake I'm actually gonna pull out is my blood python. This is Kato. Kato is actually the very first snake that I had in this reptile room. He has grown a lot, as you can see. If you guys go back to my older videos, you can see just how big he's gotten. He is pushing almost 4 foot now, so he's pretty big. He is doing great. I can't talk about this guy enough. He's my Matrix blood python. He's 2 years old now. He just turned 2 in August. As you can see, he's looking pretty good. He still, at 2 years old, does not eat in front of me at all whatsoever. So I still have to lay his rat in his enclosure, turn off the light, and leave the room. But hey, as long as he's eating, I can't complain. So he's actually upgraded to the 4x2x2 now, as you guys have seen, I'm sure, in the recent videos. But he is doing very well, very well. Getting big. I mean, I can't wait for him to get bigger and bigger. So that's something I can't be too upset about, is the fact that all of my animals, for the most part, are growing very quickly. So that is great. So that is Kato, Matrix blood python, and I was gonna pull Khalifa out, which is the carpet python that you guys seen in the most recent video. However, he's not too friendly. He's not too excited right now because he's going through a pretty rough shed. So I'm going to leave him alone. But I did do the video of him last week. So I will not put him in this video, but I do have Khalifa, the jungle carpet python. So I have one more snake to pull out, which is my biggest snake. For those of you that have not seen him yet or are not familiar with him, give me 1 second. He is quite a handful, so let me go ahead and try to get him pulled out so I can show you guys. So before I pull him out, just to give you an idea of how big he is, this is his most recent shed, which is actually a couple nights ago. I'm definitely not getting out on the camera. I'm 5'5", by the way. Yes, I know I'm short, but he is a 6.5 foot snake, which for me, that's a large snake. For some people, it's not large enough. Obviously, you know, people have burns and retics. For me, this is large. So just to give you like a size reference, But let me go ahead and pull him out for you guys so you guys can see him. Alright guys, so this is Luther. Luther is my 6.5 foot boa. I actually got him from a couple who just no longer care for him at his size. So I gladly took him in. Beautiful snake. Very, very strong. Loves to move. Does love to move. But nonetheless, great snake. Definitely no complaints about him. As you can see, he just shed, so he's looking real nice. Oh, and he's a handful. Last time I took him to the vet, he was 16 pounds. He's 5 years old. He's about 6.5 foot. But I really like this snake. I can't see if I can get him more suitable. There we go. So very cool, very heavy, very energetic snake. But he's beautiful nonetheless, and a real joy to have. As you can see, he does not sit still. But like I said, he's one of the snakes I spend the most time with, obviously. Not just because of his size, but I'm still working with him to get him, somewhat used to me. He still has his moments, as you can see now. But this isn't bad compared to what he was, where he would not calm down. He would actually strike and hiss at me, and I could not get near him. So now I can actually trust him enough to put him on my shoulder. But this is my big boy Luther. He is my biggest snake. And that is all of my reptile. Let me actually get him put back, and I will do my outro. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed that video. I did show you every single animal that I have in this reptile room. So that is what we're currently at now. I hope you kept count, because I did not. I do know I have 9 snakes. That's all I know, is I have 9 snakes. So every animal I have in the room, even some that have never been featured on this channel before. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys would like me to see add to my collection. I definitely want to get more lizards in the future. Not buy anything now, but it'd be interesting to see what type of animals you guys are, into, and what you guys would like to see me add to the collection. Also, leave your thoughts below. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as usual, make sure you hit me up on Instagram at DW Exotics. I post daily updates of all my animals, and please, please, please stay exotic.